everyone, and welcome to Pops and Hisses, a music podcast where we talk to bands you love, talk about concerts, and answer your burning music questions. I'm your host, Kevin Coffey, and in this episode, we have Susan Tedeschi of the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Susan and her husband, Derek Trucks, are the leaders of one of the biggest and best blues bands around, and they've had a busy time lately. Over the last couple years, they did fireside streaming shows, they did a small band tour, Derek did scores for 2 different movies, they released a live album, they recorded also about 4 albums worth of material, and they're also getting ready to release that soon. And now they're on tour with their full 12-member band. I caught up with Susan Tedeschi right after their tour opening performance to talk about all of that stuff, including when we'll hear that new music, and also talked about their upcoming show, January 18th, here in Omaha, where I am, and it's really exciting. Before we get to that, real quick, I want to remind you, you can listen to the Pops and Hisses podcast and find music news, reviews, and interviews at popsandhisses.com. But right now, it's time to talk to Susan Tedeschi of the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Let's get into it. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and I know we've talked before, but I think it's been a really long time. But thanks again for calling.
Yeah, of course. Excited to be coming out your way soon.
Yeah, just in a couple weeks. But you guys just kicked off the tour last night, right?
Yep, we played Shreveport last night, and we played New Orleans tonight and tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, how did night 1 go?
It went good. It did. It went good. It was, it was just nice to be somewhere we haven't been in a really long time, and just getting back to it in 2022.
Yeah.
Good.
That's good. And you guys tour. I mean, you toured last year, but this is does it feel good to be playing consistently instead of mostly being at home or playing? You guys did those fireside shows, but it must be nice to be on the road with an actual crowd and stuff.
Yeah. So last June we started touring and did the fireside Shies band, which was not like the whole band. It was more of just a 5 or 6 piece. And we did that June, July, and a bunch of August. And then starting in August, we started touring with the whole 12 piece. And so it was good to get back to work and be in front of people, of course, and you don't realize how important it is, not just for you, but for the audience, to have live music. It's so healing, and it just helps break up the monotony every day for people. So it felt good to just be back on the road. And it's a little scary right now just because so many things are getting canceled, and at least people are getting vaccinated and people aren't dying as much. So that's good. That's
very good. Hopefully that trend continues upward, and it'll prevent you guys from losing any shows, because that's the worst, especially if you guys are out in the middle of it and then something has to cancel or something. That just sucks.
Exactly. Try to stay positive in 2022.
Definitely. Well, I will say, as a music fan, and I've been writing about music for nearly 15 years and going to dozens, tons of shows every month, 100 a year or more, and then to really not have any for about almost 2 years, you really do miss it. And so being able to go back to shows again, kind of like you said, is just a great thing for fans. Like, you miss that communal experience and hearing this music that everybody knows and loves. So, yeah.
Yeah. For mental health. I mean, really.
Absolutely.
Mental health is underrated. People know how important it is, but they don't know what to do to maintain it. It's an interesting thing, but we're working on it.
Yeah. Well, you guys are contributing to the overall positivity. So us out here appreciate it.
Yay. Well, we're trying. And honestly, even though we were off a lot last year, we made a ton of new music, and we've been in the studio kind of nonstop mixing it and trying to finish it up. So, it's been great getting the band back out there and just getting, back playing, but we really want to play all the new stuff, but we can't until this summer. So
I was going to ask about that.
I'm really excited for the summer.
For sure. Some bands or some artists, enjoyed the time and didn't do as much or recorded an album, but it sounds like you guys, well, I know you recorded a lot, but you guys also had the fireside shows. Derek did a movie score. You guys did some touring. You did release the Layla album. Like, you did some small band tours, now you get the full band. Like, you guys did so much stuff. It's crazy.
I know. We kind of did a ridiculous amount. I mean, it really didn't start until 2021. I mean, we did tour a little bit and did a few things here and there in 2020, but it really wasn't until 2021 that we really started working, but like you said, we were at home during 2020, literally recording and writing and doing a huge project. And now we're mixing, and it's basically enough material for 4 records, and they're all going to be coming out in like late June, early July. So
drop them all at once. We're going to get them all at once.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to spread them out a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it yet, but I don't know. They're probably going to come out spaced a little bit, maybe every 2 weeks or something. But it's going to be great.
Oh, that's awesome. It's got to be. It must have been fun to just have the time to just record and make whatever you wanted. But now at this point, if you made it so long ago, you probably are just itching for people to hear it, or like you said, for you guys to be able to play it.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. Is like in the old days, we would be able to play the stuff and kind of test it out on the road, but now with people with phones and stuff, you just can't do it. They put everything on YouTube and stuff.
It's on YouTube right after.
Yeah, it's like a comedian. Obviously, you can't film a comedian because then their whole shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's funny how technology has kind of changed things, but at the same time, hey, we're lucky to do what we love to do, and we're excited to get a bunch of new stuff out there for people.
Right.
And the band is so happy to be back together as a whole 12-piece with our crew and everything. So it's definitely been nice just to get back to normal a little bit, even with the world still on hold a little.
Right. Well, and even you were talking about technology. I mean, even you guys able to do those streaming shows is really cool. I think 10 years ago, we wouldn't have had that. It just wouldn't have existed. You wouldn't be able to hear live music, but I know I enjoyed seeing a lot of bands being able to do that stuff. Was awesome, but not the same as actually playing on a stage in front of people.
It is funny though. It's true though. We wouldn't have had that. And can you imagine if we didn't have that? Like, or even Zoom, or even be able to see people on FaceTime and
right.
talk about. Yeah, I mean, you really could still feel the human interaction, even though we weren't physically together all the time. At least people are still connected. So. Yeah, we're lucky that we had sort of that jump in technology in some ways.
Mm-hmm. So on this tour, I wanted to ask you, I know you, like you said, you're not really playing any of the new material until we'll all be able to hear it, but what kind of stuff are you guys playing on this tour?
Yeah, so we're playing stuff from all of the records, like sort of a little mix of different stuff and mixing it up every night, of course. And if we're, multiple nights in a city, then we definitely mix up the set list from night to night. So for example, like we're at the Singer tonight and tomorrow, and we have 2 sets each, so we'll have 4 completely different sets.
Wow.
So
that's a lot to play, but you guys have a big catalog, so I'm sure you can handle it.
We do. And then we also have fun stuff, like we started playing like Outside Woman Blues, which is an old like Big Joe Reynolds song that Eric Clapton wrote for Cream back in the day, like stuff like that we've been playing. It's been really fun. Like that, I don't know, I really get a kick out of playing kind of more like the blues rock kind of stuff. It's really fun.
That's fun. As an audience member, some of that's my favorite stuff. The kind of the surprises, the things that maybe you didn't hear last time you saw the band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've been adding some new stuff and maybe doing some old classics and then adding like, having it go into a different tune that we maybe haven't done, and also pulling stuff from both of our old repertoires, like DTB and my old band too.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. So we're mixing it up and just trying to bring some of the old classic stuff back into the mix as well until the new stuff comes out.
Yeah, until you have 4 new albums of stuff that you have to sprinkle into the set.
Exactly. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did want to ask, and I mean, I know it was recorded a couple years ago, but it came out last summer. Was the Layla record was just a really cool project, and I know you performed it a couple years ago, but it's cool for everybody who wasn't at that festival to be able to hear that. It was such a neat album and project that you guys did.
Oh, it was so fun. And it was really nice to get to do something with Trey, and get to know him a little bit more. He's so sweet and really, very talented and down to earth and just an angel of a person. He really is super nice. So that's always really nice to work with people and find out that they're as nice as you think they are.
Yeah, that's always the best.
It is. It's the best. And that record really did come out so well. Like, you don't really know in the moment when you're doing it live, like how it's really coming across. But, our guys did an incredible job recording it. And, Bobby T's did a fabulous job mixing it. And Derek and, the two of them just have been working nonstop the last 2 years on that. And then the Mad Dogs and Englishmen stuff, and then also on the new stuff. So it literally has been not just the 4 records, but more like, 4, 8. I don't know. I mean, there was the other 2 projects were at least 2 projects. I mean, 2 records each, So it's been pretty wild.
Your studio's gotten a lot of use.
It really has. Yeah. And then Derek, and like you said, he did 2 different movie projects that he worked on, and like Hillbilly Elegy.
Yep.
And then he also worked on Top Gun. And then he also, the 2 of us did a thing with what's his name? John Paul Jones and Robertson's son. I can't remember his first name now, the Robertson kid, but we ended up doing it when the levee breaks with like people from all around the world kind of a thing. That was cool. And I don't know if it's come out yet, but that was really kind of fun too. It's just fun to do different little projects here and there and mix it up. And, and then I think I also sang on the Wood Brothers record that came out this year, and just all different stuff. Gabe has a new record out too, our keyboard player, that came out this past summer, and I got to do a duet with him on that record. So we've just been staying steadily busy, and I think it really just keeps you sane, just being busy.
Well, yeah, you could sit on your couch and ponder the fate of the world or something like that, but you guys really took advantage of the time. And yeah, it's such a great amount of material. Yeah.
So can't really say that we were bored. Like some people are like, oh, it feels so good to get back to work. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been working my ass. But at the same time, it's nice to be back out playing live. Like I personally love playing live. I'm more of a live person, performer. And, it's just been great to just connect with the audience and just to feel people and, feel their energy and just be with the band. So it's been really nice, really positive.
That's great. Well, yeah, I'm excited you guys are coming to Omaha. I keep saying it's been a little bit since certain bands have been here, but really it's been a little bit since anyone's been here, because there was almost 2 years of no concerts. But I'm excited for you guys.
It really is true.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we had been there in 2019, that was 3 years ago.
Right. Which probably, it's so funny because, I mean, it really wasn't that long ago. You guys released Signs in 2019. But, man, it also feels like forever ago at the same time.
It does. I know. That's the strangest thing about time now, too, is I think with the pandemic, it really made time feel different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it passed differently now. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because we observe time different now because of it or what, but it is definitely, there's been a switch for sure.
For sure. Well, let's see. I had a lot of different stuff I want to ask you about, but we've been talking about just about everything.
Well, feel free to ask anything you want.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I one thing I did want to ask, and I know you probably can't tell me too much about it, but can you talk a little bit about the new stuff that you guys have recorded? Those that, potentially 4 albums worth of material. What's it like?
Yeah, I was asking Derek, I'm like, what am I allowed to say? He's like, well, don't tell him too much. And I'm like, Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's like, I don't really know what I can say and what I can't say, but I can tell you that. So, Mike Madison, who's really one of our most prolific writers in the band, he wrote Midnight in Harlem and Bound for Glory and stuff like that. He's a Harvard English major. Well, early on in the pandemic in 2020, he gave us sort of like a nice assignment, which was like everybody go home and read this poem from the 15th century and then like all write songs based on it from like this perspective and then we just got like this slew of like totally different types of songs, but like they all are kind of related. So that's sort of where there's a theme, which I can't really get into yet, but
Yeah.
it's just because you don't want to give stuff away, but it's nice to have a record that you actually are getting like the label excited about. This is the first time the label has been so excited. They're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And, just because it's like, there's an idea behind it. There's a consistency. And then, 5 of us in the band wrote songs for this record and some of us, collaborated together as well as, writing on our own, whatever. But there is a lot of variety in the writing, which is nice. Because, when you have one writer, a lot of stuff kind of can be kind of samey, not necessarily, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's great to have so many writers and, I think everybody just did a fabulous job with this and I think people are going to be really excited about it.
Yeah, that's really cool. And that kind of open amount of time to be able to play kind of whatever you want and try different things and everybody write a lot of songs must be really good. Because I mean, a lot of times it's time to write an album and I don't know how much pressure you guys put on yourselves or what kind of deadline there is, but sometimes there's a time crunch or we only have this much time in the studio, or in your case, there's 12 people. Not everybody can be in the same place at the same time. So it must have been nice to have that maybe spread out amount of time to be able to work on all that.
Oh, it really did. It was really nice. And then we got together and that was nice. Just getting back together again during 2021 was, well, in 2020, we did get back together and that's when we really started writing a lot of the material and then, getting prepared for the fireside sessions and all that. But it was just nice to, like you said, not be under a time crunch and have no rules, just be able to do what you want to do and just create and collaborate together. So yeah, we're really excited about all that new stuff. And it'll be something to look forward to for the next tour, for the summer tour.
Definitely.
For the fans and stuff. So yeah, like I said, we've been trying to keep it fresh with old stuff from both bands as well as this band, and then throwing in some new stuff too. So it's been fun. We're always trying to keep it fresh and so that never gets too stale. And it's been all really positive so far.
Definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that music when it comes this summer, and hopefully, I don't know if you'll swing right back through Omaha after having been here, but hopefully seeing you guys again in the future. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, we'll be back around. I know that.
Oh, for sure.
When we start that tour in June, we'll be all over the U.S. So we'll be going east to west coast, and then we're going to Europe if they're still open by then.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It'll be open, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well,
hopefully this thing will be too much better by the summer when it heats up, It's hard when it's so cold.
The only place to meet is inside in everyone else's face. So
it's true.
A lot easier when you can have the barbecue outside. Yeah.
I know. Well, hopefully we'll see you when we're in Omaha.
Yeah, definitely. It's the 18th. You guys are here. It's a really cool theater here in Omaha, so I'm excited for the show.
Yay. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
So you have to come by and say hi.
Yeah, definitely. I will. Well, Susan, that's everything I wanted to talk about. And I just really appreciate you giving me a call and taking some time for me today.
Well, we really appreciate it. And thank you for your support. And thanks for doing your blog too. I noticed that you also have a blog.
Yes, I do.
I'm sure that kind of keeps you off too.
It's been giving me something to do during this time. Thanks for listening to my talk with Susan Tedeschi. Catch the Tedeschi Trucks Band on tour right now, including on January 18th at the Orpheum Theater in Omaha, Nebraska. Tickets to that show are available at ticketomaha.com. Find the rest of their tour dates and ticket information for those shows at tedeschitrucksband.com. Please subscribe to the Pops and Hisses podcast on your favorite podcast app, or head to popsandhisses.com where you can listen to the podcast and find more music news, reviews, interviews, and podcast episodes. I'm your host, Kevin Coffey, and you can follow me on Twitter as @OmahaMusicGuy, or find my page on Facebook by searching for my name, Kevin Coffey. My last name spelled Coffey, by the way. Thank you to Hurrdat Media for producing the show, and find lots more of our podcasts at hurrdatmedia.com/network. That's HURRDAT media.com. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
A Hurrdat Media Production.